それでは、ここからチームごとにプレゼンテーションをしていただきます。ここからは各チームのリードメンターに司会進行をお願いします。まずはチーム A のアディダスからになります。We will now provide team presentation. The lead mentor of each team will be facilitating. Let's get started with Team A Adidas. Dr. Morita, please.
Thank you for your Yoko-san. And so we will present about Team A's presentation. So can you share your slide, Akihiro-san?
Okay.
Almost all participants, please prepare your smartphone. Please start our presentation on Team Adidas.
Hello everybody. Let me begin our presentation. Our team name is Adidas. It is derived from members' core values. Through this workshop, we discuss about telemedicine in cancer care, and our team project is on patient care or clinical. And why telemedicine is desired? From actual cancer survival due to COVID-19 pandemic, cancer patients often feel lonely and anxious about their condition during an interval of hospital visits. So in the real life, there is lack of hospital and patient connection and patient-patient connection. And moreover, from actual experience of our members are informing. They are isolated from the latest medical care. We have to train the situation where they want to get medical care, but they can't. So the lack of hospital and community center connection and lack of equality.
Mission to design a social network that connects medical professionals, cancer patients, and their families through telemedicine to allow better access to cancer care. Vision, a peaceful society where everyone involved in cancer care can be easily intimately connected without boundaries and discrimination through telemedicine. Impact statements, we create a new telemedicine system that can connect anybody at any time, anywhere. And this will increase the quality of care and satisfaction of patients with cancer, their families, cancer survivors, and medical staff.
Now we introduce our project. The next two slides explain our concept. First, we will change the traditional concept of telemedicine, which is the delivery of health and care to patients at a distance. Telemedicine should be more patient-centered and connect people so that patients can more easily and actively receive treatment and care. The concept of the project is to connect patient to caregivers, patient to patients, and caregivers to caregivers in an equitative relationship. Next slide, please. Now we focus on how patients can access the network. Patients can access facilities related to their medical care and treatment with using devices like smartphone. And they can also use wearable devices to send their biometric information to the facilities. They can contact the facilities they want to contact directly, including overseas medical facilities. If the patient is unsure of what to do about their condition, the AI matching system, which will be explained later, can connect the patient with appropriate medical resources. For patients who are unable to use this system, local clinics and communities can connect them through outreach. This will minimize the time, distance, and cost constraints for patients to receive more appropriate medical care. The next slide, please. We create a portal site, the Oncology Network, for each patient and caregivers. The substructure contains various medical information and information for medical professionals to collaborate. Next slide, please.
So this slide shows the outline of how to use our platform. Cancer patients can get information from social media or leaflet for the patients, which will be given at the hospitals. If the patients prefer phone call, they can get a phone number. And if patients prefer using apps, they can scan QR code printed on leaflets. First, they can connect to the operator, which will be real person or AI, and the patients tell them their concerns or requests. After that, the operator will choose the appropriate professionals to solve their problem. So, sorry, this is the actual QR code. It actually works. So if you have a smartphone, please scan our QR code and you can jump to our portal site. So when patients tap on the smartphone, they can connect to our project called the Oncology Network. We provide some means for connection, such as a phone call, chatbots, Zoom meeting, or email, or face-to-face setting appointment. They can choose whatever they like. Once they enter our platform, they can freely make connections with cancer patients and their families, healthcare providers, and community for everyone. So let me present an example of a patient in difficulty. Her name is Nana. She is 63 years old, and she was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. She is now receiving a chemotherapy, and she lives alone in a rural area in Japan, and it takes time to go to the center hospital. She feels lonely because she lives alone, and she's anxious about her disease. And especially due to the COVID-19 pandemic, she loses her physical strength due to the lack of the opportunity to get exercise.
Being diagnosed with cancer is really a difficult experience for patients, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. And we believe that telemedicine can solve many problems. And throughout our presentation, we will take Nana-san through every part of our project. And let's see what telemedicine can do to help cancer patients. If Nana-san uses our Oncology Network project, she can make an appointment online with the doctor, learn correct information about cancer anytime and anywhere. Also, medical records can be kept securely online, which we will call the life passport. So Nana-san can be treated anywhere, even when she is traveling or transferred to another hospital. Staying physically and mentally strong is also an important part. At Oncology Network, there will also be a link to a good website for exercise, like cancerfitness.com from my name is Zhang, which we will show later. And there will be a place where patients can have emotional talk or share their experience with other cancer patient and family. Next slide, please. We know that sometimes it is difficult for patients to express their feelings, and they do not know who can help them. So we will have an AI matching system to match the medical staff to their problems. And this will match the problem to the best people that can solve the problem. Next slide, please. Examples of the matching can be seen in the slides. For example, if the patient feels lonely and they want to share the experience, they can connect to the other cancer patients and family members. If they don't want to exercise, they can connect to the physical therapist or to the cancer fitness website. And if they want to learn about the drug, the side effect, they can connect to the pharmacist. And if they want to learn about cancer care, they can connect to the nurse. And if they want to make an appointment and about second opinion or participating in clinical trial, they can connect to the doctors. Each connection will be explained more in detail by our members in the next few slides.
Patients and families should enhance medical literacy. We thought there are 4 ways to enhance their medical literacy. 1, lower the cost of treatment and transportation. And 2, raise the awareness and learn the benefit of cancer treatment. And 3, reliable and simplified medical knowledge resource. And 4, many medical staffs and community to help. Our oncology network helps all these points. Next slide, please.
This page is used by doctors. Some of the contents include cancer education for physicians, assistance in facilitating clinical trials, consultation with a team of experts, telemedicine with patients, and sharing of patient data for transfer. Next slide, please. For example, in the outpatient scene with Nana-san, the local doctor says, Nana-san, that there is no more chemotherapy regimen she can receive. Nana-san asks about the possibility of other treatment. So the doctor used our Adidas Oncology Network to consult with the multidisciplinary team of Nana-san's cancer expert. For Nana-san, this is the same process as getting a second opinion. So different treatments are offered to Nana-san, but the expert team's hospital is too far for Nana-san to go. However, Nana-san can receive the treatment recommended by the expert team in her hometown by a local hospital's medical team that can be supported by the expert team. Next slide, please.
Okay, this is the image of the nurse can do through the telemedicine, cancer nursing education, and patient monitoring. So we can share her data with medical team. Patients' family education, connect resources, and get information of public health data. Next, please. This is about Nana-san's case. One day, when the nurse checked Nana-san's condition through internet or phone, she feels lonely, so nurse can listen to her immediately. And if Nana worries about how to live better, for example, exercise and food, nurse can tell how to use chatbot to reach cancer fitness or other site. Besides those sites, we can give her the information about the patient support group and peer counselors. Not only providing the information, but also think together with patients quickly. We try not to leave them alone. Next, please.
Regarding the connection of pharmacists, of course, pharmacists are responsible for prescription dispensing. Through telemedicine, it is not necessary for Nana-san to go to the central hospital to have prescription filled. And we aim to narrow down the medicine knowledge gap between healthcare providers and the patients. By using telemedicine, we have much more approaches to monitor Nana-san's clinical situation. Also, Nana-san has more opportunities to consult a pharmacist or a healthcare provider. Next slide, please. Thank you. By using telemedicine platform, Nana-san could share her anxiety about the upcoming treatment, and then pharmacists could share the correct information while comforting her. Besides general information, medication information of certain drug is also available on our telemedicine platform. Next slide, please. Nana-san could also there's a function of medication reminder, and this allows us to remind Nana-san when and how to take in those pills. And she could repeatedly watch the side effect management videos if needed, since that in the clinic there surely is a bunch of information and Nana-san may not have enough time to take in or digest all. Next. Telemedicine allows pharmacists to coordinate with local community center, convenience store, or a community pharmacy. So that via computer link, video link, and audio link to the main pharmacy and a licensed pharmacist, any filled prescription ready for dispensing could be prepared or delivered to the patients.
Okay. If the patient who can't access the internet, we will provide call protocol operation to local clinical, community center, and case management to help the people by the phone or later, and maybe we can face-to-face at home to provide medical visits and with the public health nurse to provide the health care for the patient. Next, please.
It is a summary. Telemedicine can help improve the quality of care and QOL of cancer patients and facilitate medical care by building a mutual network of patient family members and medical profession. However, through the discussion, we realize the big issues. The major issues are how to build a system that patients can easily understand and feel familiar with, and how to build team medical care between occupations. Telemedicine is not beyond imagination. It is thought that medical staff training is necessary when actually using it in the medical field. Next, please.
Okay, so we show the QR code of our website again. So please scan this code by your smartphone, and you can jump to our actual website. So Manami-san, please introduce our website.
This is a part of a project. Okay.
Yes.
We don't have all the contents yet, but some contents are available. Please tap patient portals and you can find exercise. When you tap this button, you can access the cancer fitness, which I actually hold regularly.
Thank you very much. So thanks for brilliant team members. We did a really good job. And we are deeply grateful to our excellent mentors and tutors. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Any other participants? Do you have any comment or questions? If you have questions, please say anything. I cannot check who have a question.
Morita, I have one question.
Yes, please, Dr. Shimomura.
So first of all, so great job, Team Adidas. We need this kind of system to support the patients. However, this kind of ideas rarely come true. So what is the barrier to realize this very great collaboration?
Okay, Hiro-san, please answer. Or anyone?
Okay, through our discussion, there are some boundaries to realize our project. For example, someone says there are some legal regulations, or someone says it is difficult for patients to realize the existence of this system. We are not a system engineer, so there are some security problem for sharing the patient information with other hospitals. So through our discussion, we cannot solve all the problem because we cannot solve the security. We are not familiar with the security or legal problem. But in order for the patients to realize the existence of a system, we can provide some information to the social media or leaflets, and we can give the patients the leaflets showing the QR code or phone number, and so that the patients can easily access to our system.
So we need to collaborate outside of the medical professions, right?
Yes, we also need to collaborate about the security or legal specialists.
Thank you, Dr. Shimamura. So, are these comment, team Adidas members, are these comments or not? Okay. Any other question?
Sorry, I'm Tony. One question.
Please. Yes.
I think it's a very comprehensive and good presentation. But would you like to share, is there any conflicts among the discussion or the team forming and how you deal with the problem? Thank you.
How about team Adidas members?
Thank you for answering. Thank you for your question. Through our discussion, we had a lot of difficulties to overcome because there are some different ideas of the different professionals, and we want to realize a big picture of our project, but from the patient's view, it is difficult to understand or it is difficult to use because our team has special members. That Manami-san is a cancer survivor, and her opinion was very important because she said it is difficult for the patients to use because it is so complicated. Yesterday we discussed a lot about the things, and we add some slides or QR codes which are familiar with the patient. And moreover, there are some also language barriers, but yeah, with everyone's effort, we can overcome.
So any feedback from the team A nurse, or pharmacist, or survivor about this?
We have a member who is nurse, and she had to she was struggling with a job under the COVID-19, and she couldn't participate many times. But we would like to thank our leader to make a summarize every time, after this discussion, very long time summarize, and he endured our discussion and taking handle with so many opinions from participants. I think we could do a good job under his leadership.
Thank you.
How about pharmacists in Team Adidas?
As a pharmacist in Team Adidas, I think what Ken-san said yesterday is really like I really feel the same way. He said our team was made up of a lot of nice members, and the forming phase was quite smooth, and there were long periods of repeating the storming phase and the forming phase. And we reached the performing phase yesterday. So I think it's it's really a nice, fantastic experience with Team Adidas while working with all the members and mentors. And I really want to say thank you to all of them.
Thank you, Tony. So from mentors' comments, so I think so. Firstly, they met, but they are not team members. But so every week they have a meeting and discussing. Of course, they are faced to some of problems and conflicts, but they have active listening and assertiveness and discussion with each other very carefully. And moreover, I think most important thing is all members is listen to Manami-san's opinions. She's a survivor, and she's one of the team members. And almost all their project is for the patient. They think about almost all times, so they think about the patient through their project. I think this is very important. Thank you, Tony.
Welcome. I see the chat box. The Janice asked some question. Thank you.
Sorry, Janice. What happened during the storming phase? Can you give us some examples, Janice? Do you have any comment from other team members?
Well, as it's completely virtual, I'm curious about how you managed the storming phase. What did it sound like to you? What kinds of conversations were you having?
I think if we have the chance to check the OMIT slides, we could have we could then have more. We could show the storming phase of our discussion. I mean, we've at the end present the finalized slides about like less than 30 slides, but actually on the Google document there are more than 100 slides, and those are the storming phase, the record.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting. So how did you as a group decide what slides to include and which ones to eliminate? Were there strong feelings about those issues?
I think like most of us omit the slides or merge the slides due to the time pressure, due to the time issue. We need to seize our presentation in like 20 minutes. So we discussed a lot, like these slides may contain similar information, and these slides may be presented from other perspective or from other profession. So maybe we could be omit at this time and then summarize at the end of the presentation.
Okay, thank you. I was glad that you mentioned the team development phases or stages that you went through. That's really good and unusual to hear from a team. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Team Adidas members. So our presentation is finished. Okay.
Thank you so much, TeamA. I just wanted to make one comment. Not a question. I know we have like 3 more minutes, but just wanted to tell you how impressed I am with how you all came up with your final project. It's very evident that you all utilize all of the resources on your team, regardless of your personality types and your preferred method of communication. It is very evident that this is a patient care aspect, and you were able to break it down into physicians, pharmacist roles, nurses roles, and utilize even the cancer survivor. And it's really impressive how you were able to use every aspect and all the resources to create this. So very, very good job. I'm sure any hospital, any healthcare system would love to have such a creative project and such creative members on their team. So great job.